sacrifice, Jesus. Oh, you are amazing, God. Thank you, Jesus. Oh,
For I spoke a word,
yeah.
you were singing over me. You have been so good to me.
So good, yeah.
Before I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. You have been so kind to me.
What do you say?
Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, finds still I'm fine, leaves the 99. I didn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, Lord, we bless your name.
Oh, Lord, we worship you, we worship you. Yeah. When I was your foe, yeah, still your love fought for me. Still it fought for me. You have been so good to me. Oh, yes, you've been. When I felt no worth, you paid all for me. Yeah. You have been so good to me. We say, Lord, and
Lord, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, finds till I'm found, leaves the 99. I didn't earn it,
I didn't deserve it, yeah.
still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God.
No shadow you will light up,
Yes,
mountains you will climb up, coming after me. No one will keep down, like you
until
until
I'm coming after me. Oh,
no shadow you will light up, mountains you will climb up, coming after me. No one will keep down,
Lying haunted out, coming after me.
there's no shadow.
No shadow you will light up, mountain you will climb up, coming after me.
Keep chasing after Jesus.
There's no one you won't keep down, lying haunted down, coming after me.
There's no shadow you will light up.
No shadow you will light up, mountain you will climb up, coming after me.
Chasing after me, Jesus.
No one you would kick down, lying haunted down, coming after me. No shadow you will light up, mountain you will climb up, coming after me. No one you would kick down, lying haunted down, coming after me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, right still
oh, yeah.
I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it.
Oh,
Still
God,
you give yourself away.
Oh,
Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God.
Welcome to Rock Combos with the Fifth. My name is Stola. I've got some amazing people here. I'm just going to be having a conversation about relationships, talk about business relationships, relationships at work, and maybe love and romantic relationships too. All right, so Mrs. Ma, I'll start with you. Sometimes we feel like, so we're Christians, and I believe you're watching, you're a Christian too, or you're about to be a Christian, hopefully. And then sometimes I feel like, God expects certain things of us, but then the reality of where we are on earth, it looks like there's a gap between God says do this, but then our reality is sometimes different. So God says that, walk in love. He says, love is patient, love is kind, that's love. And he says, we should walk in that love. But sometimes it might be very difficult to walk in that love with people that you see on a regular. Say, for example, you're running a business, and then for some reason, some places are order, they can't deliver an order, you can't deliver that order, and then they start to be in your case and they are angry, they are rude, they are insulting you. And then there's one part that says, okay, I have to treat this person, the way God treats us, I have to be kind. But then there's a part of it that wants to give this person a piece of your mind. Have you been in that scenario before, and how did you handle it?
Yeah, of course. A lot of times. Like, you can't basically, you can't actually control some examples, like some things like that, because a lot of times, a lot of things have gone on that way. Like, you actually, the customer expect this, and you actually now give something else, and now the person is irate. You just have to chill and try to explain. Sometimes it doesn't always work that way, even if you explain a lot of insults and all, but we just have to know that.
Have you insulted somebody before?
Oh no, I haven't. I've just, so what I know how to, my peace is matters to me a lot. So I can just ignore you. Like, when you get so nasty, I can ignore you totally. Then I can come back and okay, apologize. Probably because I've worked in the customer service, whatever you do, just keep a straight face. We apologize for the inconvenience, but there's nothing I can do at the moment. Like, you just have to explain. But apology, sometimes it's hard to apologize. It's really hard. Actually, when there was one a customer that came to rain curses, and apparently just because she wanted it delivered, and I'm like, you have to pay for delivery fee. I know that I've just actually done the delivery, because the person is a person I can just drive past and just drop it. But the fact that she was trying to prove a point, and I'm like, see, no point. Yeah, and there's a
actually raining courses, man.
Exactly, and she was like, she said a whole lot of things. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, and I can't do this delivery. Like, you have to come and pick it up or something. So you just maintain your patience and,
That's serious.
Just about you felt very engaged. Any similar stories?
Yeah, I've experienced this lots of times, and sometimes you just want to speak your mind, you just want to say it all out the way it is, but you have to caution yourself. This particular customer that, in fact, wasn't even my fault. I sent a package, and a delivery person picked it up, and before the package got to her, the product had spilled, and then the next thing I saw was my phone buzzing. I was just getting a lot of messages, and I'm like, what's the problem? Am I safe today? And the next day, she started insulting me, what kind of business you run, this, that, blah, 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 and all of that. So at that point, I was like, what went wrong? So I had to call the other person and all of that. But what happened eventually was I had to just make her calm, and then explain the whole thing to her. Although she wasn't going to have any of what I was going to say. But at the end of the day, that happened, I had to calm her down and all of that. Sometimes you go through such things in business, but you have to salvage the situation really. There's really not much you can do.
Sometimes you're almost angry. Like, is it because of this delivery?
We've been doing this business for a long time. Like, you've done your fitting, and just to do the delivery, and you're like, are you kidding me? So
you're almost tempted to want to rake, and then
come and collect your money or kind of thing, but you just
Thank God for this. And And sometimes it happens in the workplace. Say, for example, you work a regular 9 to 5, not even your own business, you work a regular 9 to 5, and then there's politics days, and it looks like everybody's trying to push their own agenda or use you to further their goal, use you to meet their own deliverables. And sometimes it can get very intense, which is that you're not because you are trying to play a particular role. You know that there are some forces. There are these people that there are these people that are rising.
Yeah.
So where do I pitch my tent? When you go for lunch and then you try and figure out, okay, which side is winning, and then those things can be very difficult. Okay, have you had any experience along that line? Dealing with politics, trying to sometimes it's not like you are evil, but sometimes you have to be cunning. You have to be smart. You have to be smart, not Holy Ghost smart though. This is
Cunning, really?
this one kind of smartness that you just have to play
that one cunning.
That one cunning,
yeah. So have you had an experience like that before?
For me, you see, sometimes, most especially we Christians, we actually have the power and the ability to do a lot than an average man. You understand? So it depends on how far we are willing to unlock that ability. So, but even when those abilities begin to manifest in your life, sometimes we end up using them for selfish gain. Do you get it? So, like, you might be at work and people will look at you like, yeah, this guy is wise. It brings in some ideas to the table that we don't even think of. Do you get? So with that wisdom, sometimes we try to then connect it into some other things, and then we see ourselves on top of our game, even when it comes to politics in the office. Do you understand? It is God gift that comes because you're a child of God. Then sometimes you end up using it to maneuver your way to get to the top, and So I've had experiences like that where there was a place I worked for a lot of time, and I do a lot. I work almost directly with the boss. Out of my own job, I go there to do so many things because I'm into IT. So I have access to a lot of things because IT was like coming up really then. So a lot of people are handicapped. So they give you access to a lot of things that you're not even supposed to see.
Yes.
I said, well, where's that? Just come and just help me arrange it and print it. I don't understand. It could be payroll, it could be something. So you have access to a lot of information. Even HR departments are calling on you, then they just give it to you because they just feel yes. Do you understand? Just handle it. So I get to see a lot of things going on, and there was a time I saw wow, this person is recommending this person.
Wow.
And me, I'm here. Do you understand?
Yeah,
so, and I have access to a lot of things, and I could. So, I really felt so bad. I felt so bad. So when the Bible says that we shouldn't lean on our own understanding, and that no matter what God had in plan for us. So even if I have done something to cut that corner, yes, I would have gotten a step ahead. But I never knew that the step God has for me is a gigantic step that I can never ever get to that point. I wasn't even qualified for that point at the end of the day. Do you understand? Yes. So I worked with the man for some years, and then he left. After leaving again, I saw that I could figure out a lot of things before most people will get to know. So even at management level, I wasn't in management. I was just a senior staff. Yeah, so we have regular senior, then you have management, senior management level. So so I was really bad. I even called him, said after working with you for years, now you left, then you recommended another person, you even think about me and all that, personal things I do for you, and I really felt bad and I felt bitter, but later I prayed about it, and then he explained to me too that I shouldn't worry, Then like 2 years later, he recommended me for a job that I wasn't qualified for, fully qualified for, and the job was exactly twice my salary.
Wait on
That's
the Lord.
amazing.
Yeah.
But
That's
I
cheating.
think, you know, what I hear from him is that, you know, you had to pray and then you had to forgive the person at some point, you know, for feeling that, you know, the person wronged me, the person was supposed to give me this recommendation. He didn't do that for me. You felt wrong. You're angry, but at some point you had to pray to God and then forgiveness came. And I think that, you know, forgiveness can be very difficult sometimes. It can be, it's not like you have there's a bad things in that. I mean, it can be very difficult because sometimes you're in the office space and they say, you know, get this done, and then you don't do it, and someone just comes, why so stupid, why so dumb, and yeah, you're just raining so much, and like because of this salary you're paying, you're just saying, and then you can carry that offense, you know, that anger, that, you know, hurt in your heart. Has there been a point in time, anybody can answer this now, has there been a point in time where you felt, you know, it felt difficult to forgive somebody? It felt very hard. It felt like, you know, I didn't want to do this, but you felt that that was what God was leading you to do. So somehow, you forgive the person, and then it turned out for you in some way in the future. Does anybody have something to say in that? Like, I like his story because it's something similar to that. How, you know, choosing to let go of something that somebody has done for you, choosing to let go of that offense, choosing to let go of that anger, can actually result in, you know, a way being opened up for you. Sometimes you can't see it now. And I like that, you know, it's obvious that we don't see everything now. We don't understand the full picture. But then we have a God that can see ahead of time. So when he says that, you know, let it go, when he says forgive, when he says, you know, don't take it to heart, I think it actually just means something. You're going to, because you're signed really well.
Yeah, well, mine, well, I'm still in the process actually,
Okay.
or maybe past the process, but not gotten to that stage where everything turned
Sounds
out.
like, okay.
Yeah, so it was actually my at my former place of work, and well, this was like the first time, and maybe last time that this kind of accusation will ever occurred to me, and it's a big one for me, in the sense that, okay, so I started out my career with this firm, and things were going on fine and all of that, and then I don't know. Well, the person who recommended me to the owner of this firm is like a family member, so she introduced me directly to the owner of the company. So normally, once you come in through the company, everybody sees you as, oh, management speaking. But I never did that. Even this person, I've never met her I've never met her before, proud to when I started working there. So I got into the firm, everything was going on fine, and a fraudulent case happened. Somebody defrauded the company, and well, the police was involved and all of that, and investigations and all of that. And at this point in time, I was just a junior staff, and I didn't really know much about what happened then. I just came in newly, and a year after the incident, I was roped in.
Wow.
Like, I'm talking of this I've never really said this story before because it really means so much to me. This is like I said, like the first and maybe the last time to ever happen. I don't pray it happens to me anymore. So this is a very, very large, very huge amount of money. I don't want to mention the amount, but it's in like 8 figures.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
In the midst of this.
Yeah. So my boss called me, like she's the owner of the firm, not just my direct boss or something. So she called me to our office this day, and she just accused me, like, what do you know about this issue? Like, oh wait, hold up. What are you talking about? I'm like, oh, when this issue happened, I was just new in the firm and all of that. I didn't even know much. I was working in the audit department then. I can remember when this issue happened, but I was just very new to the firm then. So, well, I thought that was the end of it because maybe she had already asked other people as well, and maybe it was just a normal way of getting to know what each person knows or knew about the incident. So she called me and said, "What do you know about this?" I said, "I do not really know anything." I said, "Okay, I should go." Then she called the person that linked me up with her and said, "Oh, ask her what does she know about this issue."
Wow.
So when the person called me, I knew this must be a very serious issue. So I said, "No, I do not even know anything. The only thing I knew is that we were giving vouchers to go and sign, and she signed those documents that allowed the money to be transferred to the third party. So what's my own blame in this?" So the issue continues. Sometimes when I go to our office to sign some documents, she'll call me. tell your people to refund my money.
Wow.
Something that I didn't even know a dime, as in nothing about it. So it continued like that. She kept, at some point, I started dreading going to the office, because I felt each day, if I see this woman, I started avoiding her, in fact. So if I was given some document to go sign, I'll just find a colleague to give it to. I just found ways of not even seeing her. Sometimes she calls me on the phone, on the office phone, intercom,
Yeah.
and then she says, come to my office, or bring this. I was like, oh God, not again today. Then there was a particular day, everybody had left, and I walked up to her. I had to be courageous because this couldn't be happening to me. I'm a Christian. I didn't steal this money. I know. I was very clear. I'm very clear. So I walked up to her and then I asked her, "Man, did anybody say anything about me? Did you see anything? Is there anything you heard or perceived?
Yeah, you
I
want to talk about
want to talk to you about it." So she said, "Well, I didn't see you take any money, but that's not just attitude. And generally put a dent on my emotions because I could not. Most times I would just be crying like, God, please vindicate me. I don't know. And it was a very large sum, a huge sum that I've not even made in my life before.
Please do
So
something
you
like
get,
that.
and I do not like anything theft because I do not steal. I prefer to ask you honorably, swallow my pride, ask you than to steal from you. Why would I do that? And the thing about the peculiar issue about this was that prior to when this thing happened, I dreamt about it. Yes, I dreamt about it.
Joseph.
So I dreamt about it. I saw her. She wasn't in a good state. So I'm not so close to her even till date. So I called the person that linked me up and I said, "Oh, this is what I saw in my dream. Please pray along that nothing bad happens to her. Before this doesn't happen." So when I went to her office and I asked her, she said, "Well, she did not see me steal anything, but somebody told her that I know something about the issue."
Wow.
At that point, I said, "Okay, God, help me." I said, "Okay, ma, please, can this person come and talk to me face to face?" So I don't want to really go into more details, but at the end of the day, she couldn't come out to say exactly how I got involved with the whole issue. And it just dented my whole, and I just felt so bad. Most times I'll be crying. I spoke to senior people in the office that could talk to her, that could relate to her, or maybe I could get to know what she heard. Nothing. So I just left the ball. It took me a long time. It took me a while. It's been like 2 years now, about 2 years. It took me like over a year to get over it. I had to pray, I had to let go. The times that I just think about it and I get bitter. I want to just send her a text message or send her an email to tell her my peace of mind, but I prayed about it and I now I'm at peace. If I see her, I greet her. And then even got to a point I even went to the office and then I greeted my colleagues and like, "Oh, even till date I still do business with some of my former colleagues and all of that. So I'm at peace, I'm okay. I'm cool.
So what I hear from that is that forgiveness is a journey.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to happen at once. I think sometimes we struggle with that. Jesus says that somebody offends you, forgive 70 times 7. And sometimes we think that it's just going to happen in 1 minute. And I like that forgiveness doesn't happen at once, but it's a process. You mentioned you have to pray for the person. She mentioned she had to pray to God. So it's that conversation that you're having that, okay, I'm finding it very difficult to let go of this anger. I'm finding it very difficult to let go of this hurt. And then you are willing to walk that process. You are willing to be hand in hand. So if you're struggling with some unforgiveness in your heart, understand that it's a process. And what that means is that you know that you are walking along that path. It's a journey you are going on. So every day, it's like you are losing, or unforgiveness is losing a little of your heart every day. So the hold of that unforgiveness is reducing and reducing. So just before we wrap up this session, I'm just going to ask a question about this. And sometimes, still talking about business and workplace and all that. Sometimes we are tempted to do things that are against what God stands for. Sometimes just the pressure to, maybe it might be personal business or even be 9 to 5, but there's a pressure to go against certain standards that you have set.
For me, I have this. It's a little bit sensitive.
Okay.
It's still something that I think we can learn from. When I started working, I started really young. You understand? So, and there was a lie there was a line in it. Do you understand? And
Football
it,
age
it,
line.
it was exactly. I was there. So and mine was the other way round.
Okay.
Do you understand? Mine was the other way round. Yes, because I was really young, and I even younger than my age, and but I am smart. I know that. Do you understand? What I do. I mean, as at that time, I was really hot, and I go to interview and I did well. They're like, this small boy, this. At the end of the day, my first job, I added 3 years to my age.
Wow.
Because if I don't add it, they won't take
Why
it.
shouldn't you ask for birth certificates when you?
I actually added 3 years to my age. Then, and I'm already a Christian, baptized in the Holy Spirit.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
because
So you needed money.
but I have not just myself. At that age, I already have
Responsibility.
yes, and I just saw it as this is God that is let me just because I just had to check the CV, check everything. This thing no go balance. Do you understand? Because if you say you did this year, so I added 3 years to my age. Do you understand? But will I do that now? No. Do you understand? But I got the grace, and then after I left there, I was able to start making adjustments. You understand?
But when you say blend that now, it's because you're older, so your age matches anyway.
Or is it function of spiritual
Or
growth?
maturity. Yeah, so
Maturity.
that's not.
Yes, the thing is, see, as a Christian, even in we like I said, we get to unlock some abilities. You see, when Jesus said that if somebody tried to sue you for your coat, you let go of even the everything. If someone slaps you here, give them turn the other cheek. These are virtue that you can't just get anywhere. They are very powerful virtue. Do you understand? So, and to be honesty is a very great one. Do you understand? So if you are struggling with it as a Christian, and it doesn't just come on you. So it starts growing. Do you understand? So with time, I started realizing that this is a sin. I can't continue to do this. Did you get? And then I had to take it out.
Thank you so much for that. So this is what I hear. In our walk with God, we grow in our knowledge of God. We grow in our awareness of what sin is and the things that God wants us to do. And so we can take consolation in the fact that God is leading us in a process. See, there are certain things that you are doing now, but why you're doing them now is because you are not aware of them. And then you must be sensitive to listen to God correcting you as you grow in your walk with Him, and then you begin to make those adjustments. We're going to go on a break now, and then when we come back, we'll talk about relationships, in love and romantic context, and then we have a lot to say, and we hope to see you. Welcome back. So just before we went on the break, we were talking about dealing with business relationships and dealing with issues that crop up. And so Kay mentioned about having how it's possible for you to grow in your work with God, and then you come to a greater awareness of certain things. And then we also talked about how forgiveness is a process. So if you are in that process, just keep reaching out to God, ask Him to help you forgive. Yeah, and that makes everything possible. So we're going to talk about relationships. People like to hear about love and relationships. I mean, we are at that phase of life where we just like people of the opposite sex, hopefully, by the grace of God, and then we find that attraction, which is normal. So I'm just going to be asking some questions from Mrs. Mo. She has a world of experience to share with us, and we're just going to dive deep into that. So first off, I'm going to ask this. So one of the things you mentioned before we left off was, Jesus was talking about, if someone takes your coat, or says go, slaps you here, turn the other cheek. Now that can be very difficult when you are dating somebody. I mean, just turn the other cheek. Sometimes we feel that context, we feel that pressure to want to do our own back. Am I the only one that feels like that?
Definitely.
No, you're not the only
Okay,
one.
thank God. So I'm still a Christian. I mean, there's that pressure too that someone does it so you like, so I want to do my own back. And then it takes some kind of grace, it takes some kind of effort to actually remember that, okay, this person might not have meant it that way. So I'm going to ask you, so how do you settle, how do you think that, resolving issues that arise, somebody says something hurtful, many times unintentionally, many times they don't mean to actually say, those hurtful things, but they just come out. So how do you deal with that pressure to want to give the person back, a piece of your mind, saying that, you actually say, I love this person, but then, can you love somebody and want to say your own back to them? How do you manage that conflict?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Well, it takes a lot. Like it takes a lot of courage to take everything all in, but at the same time, I don't advise you should always take it all in. I advise that you should always talk about the situation every time. It might not be immediately it happens, because you know that the conversation is heated, like this person is upset, and you have to know the person you're with as well. Does the person, like, you shouldn't sleep that night without resolving the conversation. And the person I'm with right now, he forgets things. Like if it happens now, in the next 1 hour, he'll just be asking me, I'm like, hello, I'm giving the silent treatment right now. I'm not accepted that it's over. So I want to actually iron it out, because most times if you don't talk about it now, it will come again and again. You have to explain that, see, this thing you said, it really hurts me because I meant this, and you took it this way, and that. So for it not to happen again, let's just talk about it. And talking about it, just, you also have to know your partner. You know that this person is either a person that it gets annoyed easily, or the person just didn't mean it or something. You just have to explain that, see, I'm not telling you to walk on eggshells when you're with me. I'm just trying to tell you that you should actually respect me enough to think about some things before you do some things as well. Because yes, I can be hurt and all this. And funny enough, sometimes the person might not even mean it the way you someone can I can have a friend like this that's always saying, just hits me stupid girl, that kind of thing. But some people might not take it why are you calling me stupid? Do you understand? But me, I know my friend that she doesn't mean that. So you have to know your partner as well. And yes, don't take it's hard to say don't take things to heart or whatever. But at the same time, give people benefit of the doubt. Don't expect too much from people, no matter what person. Just have at the back of your mind that this person, we are running the same race, but we're coming to meet each other. But at the same time, give the person a slap. That's
So I hear that we are on the same side.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to see ourselves
On the
as
same team,
fighting against
Mm-hmm.
each other.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to give the person the benefit of the doubt that this person might not have meant what I thought they said.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be able to clarify, and then you have to be able to talk about it. That you said this,
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. You said this, it made me feel this type of way. You said this, I don't like when you say this stuff to me. Be open to have those conversations, and then you must settle the issues as soon as you can.
As soon as you can.
So don't let them pile up and pile up and pile up and pile
So
up.
you won't bust.
What about you, Josephine?
Well, I'm usually tempted as well to give it back hot,
Okay.
the times that your partner does some things and you're like, are you that stupid? You know how to say it out, just keep
What
it
you
in,
thought it?
that kind of thing. And you're boiling, but you just have to absorb it because you can't just express yourself at the heat of the moment. You can't just speak up, speak out the way you're feeling it, So there are times that you just have to be calm, be the calm one. When one person is, I've learned that when one person is angry, one person should be quiet. So at that point in time when you're quiet, doesn't mean you're stupid or you don't know what you're doing. You're just being wise. It has worked for me one time because when the person is now calm, I'm like,
let's go.
So what you do that time in your mind now, Because if you had said all those things while the person was angry, the person wouldn't even hear anything you're saying. You're just talking on deaf ears, and people will just keep going over and over and over, and the issue will not get settled. So most times when one person is angry, the other person should just be calm, not because the person is not wise, but because the person knows what he or she wants to be at the end of the day. So what I do most times when one person is angry, I just keep calm, and when the person is now calm, I now speak my mind more. say this and this and this are the things you did that I do not fancy at all. You know, at that point, the person is come to listen to your side of the story. So even if you want to give about the person all of that, it doesn't really work, really. We are humans, and then you tend to be angry as well too if somebody gets you upset, but know when to talk.
And a lot of things have happened. Like, you might even get mad about some things that don't make sense. For example, the old toothpaste thing. You toilet down, toilet off. Like, it takes like a while for your partner to now understand that, see, I want to go to the toilet, I want to pee. The toilet seat should be down. You know, all sorts of things and all that. And when you want to pee, please put it off. All sorts of things. That toothpaste thing. You know, always say that, then they'll tell me, like, how would that happen?
Yeah, exactly.
I went to my own toothpaste. So,
You can squeeze it anywhere.
So I can squeeze it anywhere. So, like, with time, you would actually know what pisses your partner off. And I wouldn't say I'm not giving it back. I wouldn't say both of us are not giving it, like, you to your child. Because me, everybody is sorry. You know what I'm saying? But I know that when we did that, and it didn't work, and it took a while for it to go. Why will you be talking to me? Why would I have me talking about? Why will you talk to me like that? So, but with time, you know what really works for your partner, and you know how to. If it is something that occurs like most times, you know how to resolve like that toothpaste. Me, I do not like. Me, I like to squeeze my toothpaste.
Nobody's offended.
Or toothbrush. Me, it might be the same color, like toothbrush. And I'm like, no, but my own is new one now. So I know. So I have to go like, why is it white now? Different color. So you know how to resolve it. It's like, why would I even know? It's the same color now. How would I know it? So you know that let me just buy another color for myself. So, or I will not put it in the bathroom, or that kind of thing. So you just know how to resolve. You know how you can resolve the issue for you too. Yes, it's funny, but man, it can't be funny at that point.
Yeah,
so,
I've actually heard the popular saying about the toothpaste.
Yeah. So it depends. So it depends. Yeah.
Okay, so this is what I hear from you. You have to be calm. You know, as much as possible. Not everybody has to speak at the same time. So if somebody is angry, it doesn't mean you're stupid for being silent. It just means that you value the relationship, you value your peace at that moment to be quiet, to be calm. And she's saying that you have to learn to resolve the issues that come up. So I'm going to ask this question. So this is a tension I face in my own relationship. And then I'm somebody that it's very, forgiveness comes easy to me. In fact, I say that I forgive people in advance. That's just the way I work. So when somebody does something to me, this, she did this, I don't like it. I let it go. That's all. The next minute we are talking about fine. But then she's the other person that she has to feel some type of way before. So I'm like, we've ended this 2 weeks ago. So why you bringing this up now? And then so sometimes I feel like let it go now. Is it sorry? And then I guess that sometimes it feels like I say the sorry that should be sorry before and even though that's not what I mean, but I get that So how difficult has it been for you letting go of stuff? I mean, if you say you love this person, you actually love this person, is letting go that easy because you say you love this person? Have you been tempted to hold on to certain hurt, hold on to something that somebody said to you and said, you know what, 6 weeks ago it was a Thursday. You said this to me. I know I told you I've forgotten, but I didn't forget. And then we are bringing up. I'm not saying that's how she does. She doesn't do like that. I'm serious. She don't do like that. But I'm saying that have you felt that kind of pressure before?
Okay, so in regards to forgetting and well, it depends. Like the one I know is like knowing before I got married. Okay, yeah, right. Before I got married, knowing your ex, the ex of your partner.
Okay.
Do you understand? So you now know that the ex is now like a friend. Why are you a friend? Yeah. So anytime like something, or it's not like the ex will come or anytime probably let's say she's in the same church or something. I'm like so when I just look at them like I see them talking. Do you understand? It's not like I will even ask or I would even. Do you understand? But I'm like, hello, let's just hope that this is the way it is. And at the same time, you also have to be open with your partner. You have to say, like, he was telling me that he doesn't have any female friends again. I'm like, yes, I'm your female friend. I'm everything.
Alpha and Omega.
Do you get? So it's not that. You also always. So if you know that there's this problem and there's something that you take at heart, you should actually have a conversation with your partner. Like, okay, there's this person that is in your life that I'm not comfortable with. I'm not saying you're cheating on me. I'm not saying, Jonathan, I'm just not comfortable because maybe I know you told me about the way your relationship is with the person, and I'm like, do you know what? It's better not to be tempted.
Yeah.
Cuckoo, what is she giving you? What
I
fresh is
cannot
she giving you
give
that I
you.
cannot? Tell me, do you want me to go and be? If it's book, people read together. You want me to go and read the book? Do you understand? And just know what makes you happy. That's just it. I think I'm really happy. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of openness. A lot of openness. If something is hurting you, just say it. If there's somebody, just say it. Just say it. There's nothing. And if you not see the person is strong head, I want to stay there. Yeah. And you should have most of all those conversations before you take the next step. Because there are a lot of people, and you should always be open, like 100% open to your partner. And you should always be friends with your partner. That doesn't mean that whatever the person's interest is what you should also be interested in. For example, my husband loves football, loves football, and I can't stand it. And he's telling me that, you know, you don't have to like football. Me, I like to go out. I like to go with my friends, and he doesn't want to play. So we know that we have separate, different interests in different places, but there's some things that bring us together, like movies. We watch movies every Monday night, like compulsory, even since when we're dating, that kind of thing. So we know that there's some things that will bring us. Before then, I didn't like to watch movies, but I'm like, this is what my husband likes. So let me just try and I can't do football, so I can do movie, fine. So I can choose the movie or so things like that would always work and all. So that's
So there's compromise.
Yeah.
You're willing to make certain adjustments. It doesn't mean that you have to be everything, but you find a way to make certain adjustments. Okay, so I'm going to ask this. You know, sometimes, you know, we single people, we have this challenge where it feels like certain people are, you know, you like this, so yeah, guys, so let me say example. You like this girl, you know, and all that. And for some reason, she feels entitled to certain things that come from you. Yeah, she feels entitled to a certain, you know, tax, that this is my portion of your inheritance. And then it happens to guys too sometimes. And then you feel that, you know, because I like this girl, there are certain things that, so what are we eating today? You've not brought food for the month. And those kind of, you know, those kind of entitlements come in. So have you been in a situation like that? How did you handle it?
Okay, is it that I'm feeling entitled or
Any one of them?
Okay, maybe I might not choose myself,
Okay.
really, but if I have to feature,
Sure.
you will know. Okay, but one thing I have seen and I've experienced is that when it comes to relationship, you know that even the Bible always mentioned that God, you know, love God with all your heart and love your neighbor as yourself, and then because it is important because every man has this tendency to be selfish, self-centered. Do you understand? So, and we bring that into a relationship. Yeah, if you are self-centered, then you should stay alone. You should be on your own. That means you can be an island. Do you get? So if you can't,
It's not even. Is it in the Bible to get married?
to
Is it compulsory to get married? Is it the Bible that's compulsory to get married?
okay, well, you don't have to get married. Do you understand? It's not there. The Bible just gave different advice. Okay, it's not compulsory to get married. And the Bible didn't say you must get married. Do you understand? But the Bible gave very good advices concerning getting married, concerning being in partnership, which might be business partnership, any kind of partnership. Do you understand? Which we know that one of the greatest partnership is getting married. Do you understand? So which is so when two work together, yes, one will chase 1,000, two will chase 10,000. You know, all those kind of thing. When one fall, you are the only one. You just be there. If you are two, you help each other up. When you're cold, two will keep themselves warm. We have all those things in the Bible that was Okay, that is, you know. So it encourages us to be in partnership. Do you understand? So and when you have a partner, most times we look at it from our own point of view. Do you understand? From what we need all the time. So that's why when you get in, you try to start getting all those things you need. You try to start reaping what you did not sow. Do you understand? So yeah, like if you're not getting it, then you start throwing tantrums and all those things. So, but if we change our mentality at first, that okay, what am I bringing? Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I've been in relationships. Do you understand? So and then so although we have different weaknesses and different strengths. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So but for me, if I want to be in a relationship with a person, most especially talking about a spouse, if there's no vacuum in your life I'm coming to feel, then I'm not coming in. Because I'll feel useless. Do you understand? It could now be taking care of you in terms of finance. Do you understand? It could not be that. It could be being a very good companion, giving you listening ears. That might just be all you need. You might have more money than I do.
I would
Do you
like that
understand?
you're just selling your CV.
People that actually grew up, as in when you were growing up, your parents, like that's how your mom is. Your
It's
mom
not
is
influences
a, yes.
what
Your mom is the person that expects your dad to like do everything, and that's how I grew up, that kind of thing. So coming into the relationship with you, that is
bringing
what
out bias
exactly bringing
into-
out that to the. So what happens to them?
It's natural. It's not even something that you sat down to think of that. This is what my mom did. You just start
It's
doing
just
it.
unconscious.
That's like
Yes,
you grew
unconsciously,
up that
you know,
way, yeah.
you just start doing it because that's what you've seen over the years. But we can't still allow that. You understand? That's not what will determine it. Because if you say your mom has been the one beating up your dad, will you now start beating up your husband? Do you understand? But
Well,
like that.
okay, so people don't see it as a big
But
deal.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm your wife. You should take care of me. That kind of thing.
Everything, like
You
you
should
should be
actually
the
take
sole
care of
provider.
Yeah,
actually.
because why do you
You
take me out of my father's house if you're not going to take care of
I
me?
mean,
Yeah. I mean, if that's the case, then you usually see men too. Like, I'm dating you, I'm giving you money for
So
this,
then I
for
say
money
that
for
you do
that.
it
So you should come to my house and
cook for me.
cook for me. Cooking
So
is
don't work.
cooking
Don't
is
say
even-
slave.
okay,
Yeah.
so this is what I hear now. Sometimes these expectations that we have, that we bring into relationships, they are a function of our experiences in the past. So because of a certain way that you grew up, when you were young, was birthday time, everybody came, sang birthday song for you and all that. So you go into that relationship with that expectation that somebody should be dancing on their head because it's your birthday.
Yeah.
But this guy that doesn't like that say, "Why is your birthday? What do you do? You just born."
Yeah, but
And all that. So you must be able to have those conversations that you know. This is what I expect. This is what I think you should do. And then because of that, so because of where I'm coming from, this is the way I see things. And then if you say you actually like this person, you're vibing with this person, you should be able to make certain allowances.
Yes,
well,
like
on the
that she
contrary,
said.
I don't believe you should come into a relationship expecting anything. I'm sorry.
But I think we all expect this.
Ooh, yeah, but you shouldn't
That's
totally.
huge.
Yeah, you shouldn't. Yeah, you shouldn't because once you
I'm
do
expecting
that.
some love in the
Wait,
family.
no, not that. But I mean, like,
Ah.
what I'm trying to say is that you should, when you're coming into a relationship, you should know that. See, everybody they have their baggages they're carrying. You
Yeah.
understand? I should know that. See, whatever I do, and I am coming into this relationship, I should feel that. See, I know that you are meant to take care of me, and I'm meant to provide if I have it, but it shouldn't be too okay, that is it though, and that is it. If it's not it, then if I came into it saying that, see, I can take care of myself, and if I have more, I'll take care of you, I'll take care of our child. If we don't have that much at that time, we don't have to have kids yet, that kind of thing. And I know that because of that, I won't force you to. So because my mind has already tuned into the fact that I'm not coming to collect anything from you. But if you give me, that's perfectly fine. Because if we have that kind of conversation, I didn't have a conversation with him actually because I want him to take care of me. But if I have that, kind of mindset, I know that, see, whatever it is and it comes and he says, I'm my own money, my own will is for my children. Me, I know that I'm into this because we love each other and we made a commitment, not because of what exactly physical things are coming to pick from it. With that, you know that if I'm shocked at the end of the day, God will not put me where He will not keep me. He wouldn't just understand. He knows everything. That is why I made the decision. Although this is where I am. So that's it. So that's my own.
And some people don't realize that when you come in with expectations and then you are always listing what you want, the other person too
has expectations.
So if the person is not meeting up to your expectation and you are throwing tantrums, what do you expect the person to do? Are you meeting up with all the expectations of the other person? So you have to, you have to
balance
compromise.
it. Compromise.
It's all about love. And one thing about relationship is that, like what the Bible says about relationship really is that I love you, and each day I'm learning to love you more.
That's it. That's right.
Let me before we wrap up this, so I just want to, so this what I hear. I love you, I'm meant to love you more. But sometimes is love enough? Because for us, when we say love, there's a when we say I love this person, I know what comes to my head. There's a way I'm feeling on the inside. But I found that it's not every day I feel like that.
That's another topic.
So you know what? So we're gonna keep you guys posted. That's a conversation we're gonna have sometime soon. But this if you're gonna pick anything from this, is that you must learn to be open. You must learn to communicate. You must learn to speak freely and say, okay, this is how I'm feeling. This is how you make me feel. In times when you have issues, you must learn to take a step back. Maybe keep your mouth shut and try very hard not to say those nasty things you want to say, and then just listen to the other person. Relationships take a lot of hard work. Take a lot of hard work, and if you're going to make it work, you have to be willing to put in the effort. And we love that you put in the effort to watch us. Today it's been a nice time talking to you guys. Thank you for joining in. Thank you, Mrs. Mo. Thank you, Mrs. Joe, and thank you, Kate, for joining us. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at We Are The Fifth, and then subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Fifth TV. We're just going to say a word of prayer for you, dear God. We thank you for every single person who is listening to us this evening, whatever the time is in their city. We thank you for our lives. We thank you for just being with us and just being our Father. So, Father, we pray for any single person who is having difficulties in their relationships, maybe relationships at work, family relationships with their loved ones, their partners. Lord, we just pray for the grace to heal in the name of Jesus. That whatever hurts, whatever anger, whatever bitterness they hold in their heart, whatever ways we have been offended, we ask for grace to let go of it and forgive in the name of Jesus. Lord, that relationships we are in will be the kind of relationships you expect to move us to the next level in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, thank you guys. Have a great weekend.
Bye.